Right, let me give you an overview of the CI/CD pipeline that we want to build in order to automate the deployment of our software. So CI/CD stands for continuous integration and continuous delivery, and you'll see how everything will tie together. But basically, we want to push some code from our machine to GitHub, and then within GitHub, we're going to use GitHub Actions. Now, when we push some code, we're going to handle two cases. So if we push some code and we raise a pull request, we want to trigger the build workflow. If we merge to main or master branch, so let me just say master in here. So if we merge to main or master branch, we want to trigger this other workflow. Now, a workflow contains a sequence of steps that allows you to achieve whatever desired state for your CI and CD pipelines. Now, these workflows in here, so let's just focus on the pull request, and then we'll focus on the deploy workflow because it's more involved. But right here, the workflow runs on a runner. And remember, I said that a runner is just a VM, and you can choose between Windows, Ubuntu, and Mac OS at the moment. And you can also have your own runners, so you can host them yourself, but we're going to use the ones provided by GitHub. So when we raise a pull request within that runner, we're going to have a sequence of steps. So we're going to want to check out the code because remember, we are running within a VM. We need to check out the code, right? So we need to check the code that lives within GitHub. So we want to check out the code. We want to set up Java. We want to set up Postgres. Then we want to run Maven clean and then package. This will basically build, compile, and run all the tests. And then if everything is fine, then we want to be able to merge. So merge the changes to the main or master branch, provided that the changes are sensible and the person reviewing your pull request is happy with it. Then once we merge to master or main branch in here, let's go back. So once we merge to main or master branch, we're going to run the deploy workflow again based on a runner, which is Ubuntu. Now this time will be more interesting. So in here, the first thing that we want to do is to send a Slack notification, and you'll see this in a second. But basically we want to send a Slack notification saying that CI/CD ongoing, and you can see this emoji right here. And you can see that we have information about the repo, the commit, the author, the action, the event name, so on and so forth, right? And even you can see here the ref. So ref heads main, right? So when we merge to main or master, we want to send out a Slack notification. Then we want to check out the code again, because this time is running on a different VM. We also want to set up Java. Then we want to generate a build number. And this seems very familiar, right? We want to log into Docker Hub right here by performing a Docker login. Then we want to run Maven clean package and build the image using gib. So you'll see the command that we've been using to the terminal. Basically, we want to automate all of this. Then once this step is done, we want to send a Slack message into a channel, and we want to say that pushed and then the image name with the new build number or the new tag, and then the link as well. Then what we want to do is to update the docker-compose YAML, and I need to remove that space there. And then we want to send a notification again to Slack saying that deployment started. So this is a deployment for Elastic Beanstalk and AWS, right? So remember, we took this file manually and then we uploaded into Elastic Beanstalk, but this time we want to automate everything. And then after the message, then we start the actual deployment. So deployment goes to AWS, basically. So now we're not uploading this file manually. And then once everything is fine, we get yet another Slack message saying that the new app is up and running. And then we get our beautiful application right here. So let me just zoom out a little bit. Oops, there we go. Just like that. And there we go. So this is really awesome stuff, and you'll see how we're going to set up everything. But the cool thing here is, let's say that we have something wrong with our code, right? So if, for example, we have a test that fails or the code failed to compile, so basically it will stop here and not carry on. So this is the goal, right? So this is the continuous integration and deployment. So this second one here is the continuous integration and deployment, because we are taking a new version of the application. If the build is fine, all the other steps pass, we want to deploy it to Amazon. So this is continuous integration and deployment. Whereas the first one, so here, so the pull request, we just perform a CI, so continuous integration, meaning that our code does not introduce any breaking changes, i.e. it compiles, all the tests passes, so on and so forth. Next, let me go ahead and give you a demo of all of this in action before we implement it.